Ireland, a land of beauty, history, and resilience, has also been the backdrop for some of the most chilling and controversial murder cases of the 20th century. These are not just stories of crime, they are tales of power, privilege, and the relentless pursuit of justice. From the haunting murder of Sophie Toscan du Plantier in the quiet hills of West Cork, to the Stardust nightclub fire that claimed 48 young lives, these cases reveal the cracks in Ireland's justice system and the resilience of those left behind. What drove two sisters to commit one of the most gruesome murders in Irish history? How did a priest's death in a wealthy home expose the influence of privilege in the courts? And why does the murder of journalist Veronica Guerin still resonate as a turning point in Ireland's fight against organised crime? These are stories of heartbreak, mystery, and courage. Stories that demand answers. As we delve into these 10 infamous cases, we uncover the truths that shaped a nation and the lessons that still echo today. Prepare to be captivated, horrified, and inspired by the untold stories of Ireland's darkest moments.
The past is never dead. It's not even past. William Faulkner.
Did one decision alter history forever? Let's take a look at Ireland's darkest mysteries. In this documentary, we'll explore 10 of the most controversial murder cases in 20th century Ireland. Each case reveals not only the crime, but also the societal, political, and legal challenges that shaped the nation. From wrongful convictions to unsolved mysteries, these stories continue to haunt Ireland's history.
The execution of Harry Gleeson was a tragic miscarriage of justice, a stain on Ireland's legal history. Dermot Fairwriter, The Irish Times, 2015.
In 1940, the quiet rural community of Tipperary was rocked by the murder of Malcolm MacArthur, a single mother of 7. Her body was discovered in a field, shot twice in the face. Harry Gleeson, a local farmer, found her body and reported it to the authorities. But instead of being treated as a witness, Gleeson became the prime suspect. The evidence against him was circumstantial, yet it was enough to convict him in 1941. Gleeson was hanged for the crime, maintaining his innocence until the very end. The trial was riddled with inconsistencies. Witnesses gave conflicting accounts and key evidence was either ignored or suppressed. Gleeson's defense team argued that the investigation was rushed and biased, but their pleas fell on deaf ears. The case became a symbol of the flaws in Ireland's justice system, raising questions about the fairness of trials and the use of the death penalty. Decades later, new evidence emerged suggesting that Gleeson had been framed. A campaign to clear his name gained momentum, led by legal experts and historians who believed that justice had not been served. In 2015, Gleeson became the first person in Ireland to receive a posthumous pardon, officially acknowledging the grave errors in his case.
The pardon of Harry Gleeson is a reminder that justice delayed is justice denied. Michael McDowell, Irish Independent, 2015.
The pardon was a bittersweet victory for Gleeson's family and supporters. While it restored his reputation, it could not undo the injustice of his execution. The case also highlighted the dangers of relying on circumstantial evidence and the need for rigorous standards in criminal investigations. For many, the Gleeson case is a cautionary tale about the fallibility of the justice system. It serves as a reminder that the pursuit of justice must be balanced with fairness and due process. The true killer of Malcolm MacArthur was never found, leaving a lingering sense of unease in the community. The story of Harry Gleeson continues to resonate in Ireland and beyond. It is a powerful example of how one man's life can be destroyed by a flawed system, and it underscores the importance of vigilance in the pursuit of justice.
We must learn from the past to prevent future injustices. Dermot Ferriter, The Irish Times, 2015.
The murder of Sophie Toscan du Plantier is a case that refuses to fade into history. Catherine Fagan, Murder at the Cottage, 2021.
In December 1996, the body of Sophie Toscan du Plantier, a French filmmaker, was discovered outside her holiday home in West Cork. She had been brutally beaten, her face unrecognisable from the attack. The murder shocked both Ireland and France, sparking a media frenzy and a complex investigation. Ian Bailey, a journalist living nearby, quickly became the prime suspect. Despite being arrested twice, Bailey was never charged in Ireland. The evidence against Bailey was largely circumstantial. Witnesses claimed he had scratches on his hands and had made incriminating statements, but no forensic evidence linked him to the crime. Bailey has always denied involvement, accusing the Gardaí of targeting him unfairly. The case became a lightning rod for criticism of the Irish justice system, with many questioning the handling of the investigation. In 2019, a French court convicted Bailey in absentia, sentencing him to 25 years in prison. However, Ireland refused to extradite him, citing concerns about the fairness of the trial. This decision deepened the divide between the two countries and left Sophia's family without closure.
This case is a tragic example of how justice can be elusive. Catherine Fagan, Murder at the Cottage, 2021.
The murder of Sophie Toscan du Plantier remains one of Ireland's most controversial cases. It has inspired documentaries, books, and even a podcast, keeping the story alive in the public consciousness. For Sophie's family, The fight for justice continues, but the truth may never be fully uncovered. The case raises broader questions about the limitations of the legal system. How can justice be achieved when evidence is inconclusive and international tensions complicate proceedings? Sophie's story is a haunting reminder of the challenges in solving complex crimes. The legacy of Sophie's is one of resilience and determination. Her family's unwavering pursuit of justice serves as a testament to their love and commitment. While the case remains unresolved, it continues to captivate and challenge those who seek the truth.
Sophie's legacy is a call for truth and accountability. Catherine Fagan, Murder at the Cottage, 2021.
Ian Bailey died after collapsing, due to a suspected cardiac arrest, outside his residence in Bantry, on the 21st of January 2024, aged 66.
Veronica Guerin's murder was a turning point in Ireland's fight against organized crime. Paul Williams, Crime Wars 2008.
On June 26, 1996, journalist Veronica Guerin was assassinated in broad daylight on the Naas Road in Dublin. She was shot 6 times while stopped at a traffic light, her car riddled with bullets. Guerin's murder shocked Ireland and the world, not only for its brutality, but for what it represented: the silencing of a fearless journalist who had dared to expose the country's most dangerous criminals. Her death became a symbol of the risks faced by those who challenge power and corruption. Guerin had been investigating the rise of organised crime in Dublin, particularly the drug trade that was devastating communities. Her reporting was groundbreaking, naming names and exposing the inner workings of Ireland's criminal underworld. But her work came at a cost. Guerin received numerous threats. Her home was attacked, and she was even shot in the leg in a previous attempt on her life. Despite these dangers, she refused to back down, driven by a commitment to uncovering the truth. Her assassination was a calculated act of intimidation, orchestrated by a criminal network desperate to silence her. The public reaction was immediate and overwhelming. Thousands attended her funeral, and her death became a rallying cry for change. The Irish government, under intense pressure, responded by introducing new measures to combat organised crime, including the establishment of the Criminal Assets Bureau. This powerful agency was tasked with targeting the finances of criminal organisations, marking a significant shift in Ireland's approach to tackling crime.
Veronica Guerin's courage inspired a nation to confront its darkest truths. Paul Williams, Crime Wars 2008.
The impact of Guerin's work and death cannot be overstated. Her reporting not only exposed the drug trade, but also highlighted the failures of the justice system and the devastating effects of addiction on Irish society. Her murder was a wake-up call, forcing the government to take decisive action against organised crime. The CAB's success in seizing assets and dismantling criminal networks is a testament to Guerin's legacy. However, her death also exposed the dangers faced by investigative journalists. Guerin's willingness to confront powerful figures made her a hero, but it also made her a target. Her story is a reminder of the sacrifices made by those who seek to hold the powerful to account. It also raises important questions about the responsibility of the state to protect journalists and ensure their safety. Today, Veronica Guerin is remembered as a symbol of bravery and integrity. Her life and work continue to inspire journalists and activists around the world. While her death was a tragedy, her legacy endures as a beacon of hope and resilience. Guerin's story is a powerful reminder of the importance of truth and the enduring fight for justice, even in the face of overwhelming danger.
Veronica Guerin's story is a reminder that truth is worth fighting for. Paul Williams, Crime Wars 2008.
The disappearance of Mary Boyle is Ireland's oldest missing child case, a haunting mystery that refuses to be forgotten. Gemma O'Doherty, Mary Boyle. The Untold Story, 2016.
In 1977, 6-year-old Mary Boyle vanished while visiting her grandparents in Ballyshannon, County Donegal. She was last seen following her uncle across a field near their home. Despite extensive searches involving local volunteers, Gardaí, and even the army, no trace of Mary was ever found. Her disappearance remains Ireland's oldest missing child case, shrouded in mystery and controversy. The case has been plagued by allegations of political interference. Mary's twin sister Anne has long claimed that a suspect known to the family was protected by powerful figures. She believes that this interference prevented the Gardaí from pursuing critical leads. These allegations have sparked outrage and calls for a fresh investigation, but no significant progress has been made. The lack of resolution has left Mary's family devastated. Anne Boyle has become a vocal advocate for justice, accusing the authorities of negligence and corruption. Her campaign has drawn attention to the case, but it has also exposed deep divisions within the family and the community.
The truth about Mary Boyle's disappearance may never be known, but the fight for answers continues. Gemma O'Doherty, Mary Boyle. The Untold Story, 2016.
The disappearance of Mary Boyle is more than just a cold case. It is a symbol of the failures of Ireland's justice system. The case highlights the vulnerability of children and the importance of accountability in law enforcement. For many, it's a reminder of the need for transparency and reform. Over the years, the case has attracted widespread media attention, with documentaries and investigative reports keeping Mary's story in the public eye. However, the lack of concrete evidence has made it difficult to determine what really happened.
Mary Boyle's legacy is a call for justice and reform. Gemma O'Doherty, Mary Boyle. The Untold Story, 2016.
Theories range from accidental death to abduction and murder, but none have been proven. Mary's story continues to haunt Ireland. Her disappearance is a tragic reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring pain of unanswered questions. For her family, the search for truth is a lifelong mission, driven by love and desire for closure.
The Grangegorman murders were a shocking reminder of the vulnerability of society's most marginalized. Conor Brady, Up with the Times, 2005.
In 1997, the brutal murders of Sylvia Shields and Mary Callanan in a psychiatric hospital in Grangegorman, Dublin, shocked the nation. Two women, both patients at the hospital, were found dead in their beds, their bodies bearing the marks of a frenzied attack. The crime was horrifying, not only for its brutality, but also for the vulnerability of the victims. Dean Lyons, a homeless man with a history of mental illness, was quickly arrested and confessed to the murders. However, it soon became clear that his confession had been coerced. Lyons had no connection to the crime, and his statements were riddled with inconsistencies. Despite this, he was held in custody for months, a scapegoat for a system desperate to solve the case. The real killer, Mark Nash, was eventually identified and convicted, but only after years of uncertainty and controversy. Nash, a violent offender with a history of mental illness, had been linked to other murders and was already in custody when the truth came to light.
The Grangegorman case exposed deep flaws in Ireland's criminal justice system. Conor Brady, Up with the Times, 2005.
The wrongful accusation of Dean Lyons remains a dark chapter in Ireland's legal history. It highlights the dangers of rushing to judgment and the vulnerability of marginalised individuals in the justice system. Lyons, who died of a drug overdose in 2000, never saw his name fully cleared. The case also raised broader questions about the treatment of individuals with mental illness. Both the victims and the accused were part of a system that failed to protect them. For many, the Grangegorman murders are a stark reminder of the need for compassion and reform in the care of society's most vulnerable. While justice was eventually served, the case left lasting scars on the families of the victims and the reputation of the Gardaí. It is a story that continues to resonate, a cautionary tale about the consequences of systemic failures.
Justice must be blind, but it must also be fair. Conor Brady, Up with the Times, 2005.
Step into the past and uncover the heart of Ireland. At Emerald Chronicle, we bring you hundreds of captivating documentaries exploring Irish history, myths, legends, and folklore. Our playlists guide you through Ireland's fascinating journey, from prehistoric Ireland, proto-historic and Celtic eras, and the early Christian and Viking periods, to the Anglo-Irish invasion and the lordship of Ireland.
Delve deeper into the Tudor conquest and religious conflicts, the union with Great Britain and the Great Famine, the fight for independence and the divisions of the 20th century, and Ireland's evolution into the 21st century. Best of all, we keep all our documentaries at 15 minutes or less, making it easy to explore Ireland's history, even on a busy day.
Every time you watch, you're supporting the upkeep of our channel. And when you share Emerald Chronicle, you're helping to promote Irish history and culture worldwide. We kindly ask you to like and share, and subscribe to Emerald Chronicle now. Let's keep Ireland's stories alive together. The death of Father Niall Molloy is a case that raises more questions than answers. Alison O'Connor, The Sunday Independent, 2012.
In 1985, Father Niall Molloy, a well-known priest, was found dead in the home of his close friends Richard and Teresa Flynn after a wedding celebration. The circumstances of his death were suspicious, but the case was quickly closed with no charges filed. The autopsy revealed that Father Molloy had suffered severe head injuries, yet the official explanation was that he died of a heart attack. Allegations of a cover-up soon emerged, with claims that the Flynn's connections to powerful figures influenced the investigation. The case has been the subject of numerous inquiries, but the truth remains elusive. For many, it is a symbol of the influence of privilege and power in Ireland's justice system.
Father Molloy's death is a reminder of the need for transparency in all investigations. Alison O'Connor, The Sunday Independent, 2012.
The unresolved nature of Father Molloy's case has fueled speculation and conspiracy theories. For his family, the lack of answers has been a source of ongoing pain and frustration. Despite renewed interest in the case, including calls for a fresh investigation, the mystery of Father Molloy's death endures. It is a story that continues to captivate and frustrate in equal measure. The case raises important questions about the role of power and privilege in the justice system. It is a reminder that no one should be above the law, and that the pursuit of truth is essential for a just society.
The truth about Father Molloy's death may never be known, but the fight for answers continues. Alison O'Connor, The Sunday Independent, 2012.
The Stardust tragedy is a trauma that has never healed. Charlie Bird, The Stardust Inferno, 2006.
On Valentine's Day 1981, a fire broke out at the Stardust nightclub in Artane, Dublin, during a disco event attended by hundreds of young people. The blaze spread rapidly, engulfing the building in flames and trapping many inside. 48 people lost their lives and over 200 were injured in one of the worst tragedies in modern Irish history. The Stardust fire devastated families and communities, leaving a legacy of grief and unanswered questions. The investigation into the fire revealed shocking safety violations. Emergency exits were locked, preventing people from escaping, and the building's interior was lined with flammable materials. Despite these findings, no one was held accountable. The Tribunal of Inquiry concluded that the fire was probably caused by arson, a claim that was widely criticized and rejected by the victims' families. Many believed the arson theory was a convenient way to absolve the nightclub's owners of responsibility. For decades, the families of the victims campaigned for justice, demanding a new investigation into the cause of the fire. They argued that the original inquiry was flawed and that the state had failed to protect its citizens. Their fight for answers became a symbol of resilience and determination as they refused to let the tragedy be forgotten.
The Stardust families have shown extraordinary courage in their pursuit of justice. Charlie Bird, The Stardust Inferno, 2006.
In 2019, after years of campaigning, the Irish government announced a fresh inquest into the Stardust fire. This decision was a significant victory for the families who had long felt ignored and dismissed by the authorities. The new inquest aimed to uncover the truth about what happened that night and to hold those responsible accountable. The Stardust fire is a stark reminder of the importance of safety regulations and the devastating consequences of negligence. It also highlights the power of collective action, as the family's unwavering determination forced the state to confront its failures. Their plight for justice is a testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit. While the new inquest offers hope for answers, it cannot undo the pain and loss suffered by the victims and their families. The Stardust fire remains a national tragedy, a dark chapter in Ireland's history that continues to resonate. It is a story of loss, resilience, and the unrelenting pursuit of truth.
The Stardust tragedy reminds us that justice delayed is justice denied. Charlie Bird, The Stardust Inferno, 2006.
The Stardust Memorial Park is located in Coolock, Dublin, Ireland. It was built to commemorate the lives of those who died in the Stardust nightclub fire on Valentine's Day, the 14th of February 1981.
The Maamtrasna murders are a stain on Ireland's history of justice. Dermot Ferreiter, The Irish Times, 2018.
In 1882, the brutal murders of 5 members of the Joyce family in Maamtrasna, County Galway, shocked Ireland. The victims, including children, were bludgeoned to death in their home. The crime was horrific, but what followed was equally disturbing. A series of trials that would later be condemned as one of the greatest miscarriages of justice in Irish history. Ten men were arrested for the murders and 3 were sentenced to death. Among them was Miles Joyce, a man who spoke only Irish and could not understand the court proceedings conducted in English. Despite his protests of innocence, Joyce was executed. Decades later, evidence emerged that key witnesses had lied and that Joyce and others had been wrongly convicted. The case highlighted the deep divisions in Irish society at the time, particularly the marginalisation of Irish-speaking communities. It also exposed the flaws in the British legal system, which many believed was biased against the Irish. In 2018, President Michael D. Higgins issued a formal pardon for Miles Joyce, acknowledging the injustice he had suffered.
Miles Joyce's story is a reminder of the importance of fairness and accountability in justice. Dermot Ferriter, The Irish Times, 2018.
The Maamtrasna murders remain a dark chapter in Ireland's history, a case that continues to resonate as a symbol of injustice. For many, it is a reminder of the need to protect the rights of the vulnerable and to ensure that language and cultural differences do not become barriers to justice. The case has inspired books, plays, and academic studies, keeping the memory of Miles Joyce and the victims alive. It is a story of tragedy, resilience, and the enduring fight for truth. Today, the Maamtrasna murders are remembered as a cautionary tale about the dangers of prejudice and the importance of reforming flawed systems. The pardon for Miles Joyce was a step toward healing, but the pain of the past still lingers.
The Maamtrasna case reminds us that justice must be blind, but it must also be just. Dermot Ferriter, The Irish Times, 2018.
Gubu. Grotesque, unbelievable, bizarre, and unprecedented. Conor Cruise O'Brien, The Irish Times, 1982.
In 1982, Ireland was stunned by the arrest of Malcolm MacArthur, a well-dressed and seemingly respectable man, for the brutal murders of Bridie Gargan and Donald Dunn. MacArthur's crimes were shocking enough, but what made the case truly infamous was where he was found, in the home of the Irish Attorney General, Patrick Connolly. This bizarre connection led to the coining of the term Gubu, grotesque, unbelievable, bizarre, and unprecedented, to describe the scandal. MacArthur's killing spree began with the murder of Bridie Gargan, a young nurse whom he bludgeoned to death in Phoenix Park. Days later, he shot Donald Dunn, a farmer, in an attempt to steal his car. MacArthur's motive was desperation. He had run out of money and was planning a robbery to fund his lifestyle. His arrest at Connolly's home added a layer of political intrigue to the case, raising questions about how such a dangerous man had gained access to the highest levels of government. The scandal rocked the Irish political establishment. Connolly resigned and the government faced intense scrutiny over its handling of the case. MacArthur was convicted of Bridie Gargan's murder and sentenced to life in prison, but the full details of his relationship with Connolly were never revealed. The case became a symbol of the disconnect between Ireland's elite and the realities of ordinary life.
The MacArthur case exposed the fragility of Ireland's political system. Conor Cruise O'Brien, The Irish Times, 1982.
The MacArthur case remains one of the most infamous crimes in Irish history. It is a story of privilege, desperation, and a shocking capacity for violence. For many, it is also a reminder of the dangers of complacency and the need for accountability at all levels of society. MacArthur's actions shattered the illusion of safety and respectability that surrounded him. His case forced Ireland to confront uncomfortable truths about the justice system and the influence of power and privilege. It also highlighted the importance of transparency in government, as the public demanded answers about how such a scandal could occur. Today, the term "gubu" is still used to describe events that defy belief. The MacArthur case is a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked power and the need for vigilance in the pursuit of justice. It is a story that continues to captivate and horrify, a dark reminder of the complexities of human nature.
The MacArthur case is a lesson in the fragility of trust. Conor Cruise O'Brien, The Irish Times, 1982.
The Scissor Sisters case shocked Ireland with its brutality. Paul Williams' Crime Wars, 2008.
In 2005, the murder of Farah Swale Noor, a Kenyan immigrant, by two sisters, Linda and Charlotte Mulhall, became one of the most gruesome and controversial cases in Irish history. The sisters, later dubbed the Scissor Sisters by the media, killed Noor in their mother's apartment, dismembered his body, and disposed of it in the Royal Canal. The case shocked the nation not only for its brutality, but for the disturbing family dynamics it revealed. Noor had been in a relationship with the sisters' mother, Kathleen Mulhall, and was known for his violent and abusive behaviour. On the day of the murder, an argument escalated into violence, with Linda stabbing Noor multiple times and Charlotte striking him with a hammer. The sisters then dismembered his body, an act that horrified investigators and the public alike. The trial revealed a family plagued by dysfunction and abuse. The sisters claimed they acted in self-defense, but the jury rejected this argument. Linda was sentenced to life in prison, while Charlotte received a 15-year sentence. Their mother, Kathleen, fled to England and was later convicted of helping to cover up the crime.
The Scissor Sisters case is a tragic story of violence and desperation. Paul Williams' Crime Wars, 2008.
The case sparked a national conversation about domestic violence, mental health, and the impact of poverty on families. It also highlighted the challenges faced by immigrants in Ireland, as Noir's background and treatment by the media became a point of controversy. For many, the Scissor Sisters case is a reminder of the devastating consequences of violence and the importance of addressing the root causes of crime. It is a story of desperation and tragedy, one that continues to haunt those who were involved. The legacy of the Scissor Sisters case is one of pain and loss. It is a stark reminder of the fragility of human relationships and the need for compassion and understanding in the face of adversity.
The Scissor Sisters case is a dark chapter in Ireland's history. Paul Williams' Crime Wars, 2008.
History is not just about the past, it's about understanding the present. Dermot Ferriter, The Irish Times, 2015.
The 10 cases explored in this documentary revealed the darkest corners of Ireland's history, from unsolved murders to miscarriages of justice. Each case is a story of tragedy, resilience, and the enduring fight for the truth. Together, they paint a picture of a society grappling with issues of power, privilege, and accountability. These cases remind us of the importance of a fair and transparent justice system. They highlight the need to protect the vulnerable, to hold the powerful accountable, and to ensure that no one is above the law. They also underscore the courage of those who fight for justice, often at great personal cost. For the families of the victims, these cases are not just stories. They are lived experiences of pain and loss. Their resilience and determination to seek the truth are a testament to the strength of the human spirit. As we reflect on these cases, we are reminded of the importance of learning from the past. Each case offers lessons about the dangers of complacency, the need for vigilance, and the power of collective action. The legacy of these cases is one of hope and determination. They remind us that even in the face of tragedy, there is always the possibility of change and progress.
The past is never dead. It's not even past. William Faulkner.